Hi guys, Chris here from Super Savvy Travelers and SlowFoodRenaissance.com. Hey, today I'm going to talk a little bit about why Calabria, Italy is the best retirement destination anywhere, anytime, bar none. There's so many reasons. I picked like 6 or 7 of the top reasons, that most people think about with regards to retirement, but honestly we could go on for days. Anyway, the first one is healthy living. Now Calabria is down in the southern part of Italy, and it's very, very sort of rustic down there. When I go and buy things, I can go down to the fruit and vegetable market down in Scalea down below, or to my friend Nuncia's store, and what it is people grow stuff and they sell off the excess, and and you can buy it, and it's all fresh from the land. I don't think they use any pesticides or anything like that over there. They're pretty much farming the way they've been farming for generations. So the food is really fresh. Plus you're right next to the Mediterranean. We're just above the sea. So you get some of the most fresh, some of those amazing seafood that you've ever tasted. And I don't know, there's something magic about the Mediterranean waters. Maybe they're warmer or something. But the shrimp and stuff that come out of there are so sweet and so delicious, and they're big. So I mean, I could go on for days about the good eating over there. It's the Mediterranean diet. It's a very walky area. People walk a lot. There's the sea there, so you can swim. There's all kinds of outdoor activities that you can do for most of the year. So the health benefits is really one of the best reasons for moving. Now the second is, we've touched on this, the food. Oh my goodness. And I know I'm a big foodie. So Calabria is like the foodie's paradise. There's wine there. There's super good olive oil, which, by the way, I'm going to give you a little plug at the end for my foodie's guide to decoding Italian olive oil, because you need to know all about that. Anyway, you go to the restaurants, you get, even before you order, sometimes you get an appetizer that's just out of this world, and you're like, oh. So you go, I went to Scalea. There's a place called La Perla del Terreno, and they have this pacchieria alla gitana, which is a fish, a big pasta with a fish sauce on it. I mean, it's just so good. I can't even tell you. The pastries, we have Arone, which right around the corner, which is like world-renowned pastry shop. It's just amazing. So the food there, I can't even tell you everything about it. You just have to go and start eating, because that's really, it's amazing. Now, the third thing is the scenery. We live in a little hilltop village right on the edge of the Pollino National Park, okay? So our village, first of all, the village itself is just beautiful. Our architect, Antonello Lucchesi, has created some beautiful structures, and it's just gorgeous. And you walk through, he just created a new terrace where you walk out and you get a sweeping view of the Mediterranean. That's right in the piazza there. And then you go to the back of the village, and there's this massive Pollino Mountains coming up, and they're just all different colors, and it really, you have to see it to believe it. I haven't seen anything like that anywhere. It's just spectacular. And when you drive along the coast, you've got the coast and the beautiful sea and the beautiful beaches and then the big jutting mountains. It really is something. So the scenery is one of the reasons too. Now another thing is culture. It's very different there. These people are extremely warm, extremely welcoming, and we were welcomed into our village with open arms before they even knew us. And we've just loved it ever since. We have some of the nicest, best people around us. They watch out for you. They want to make sure you're doing okay. They bring you food or garden stuff that they bring, invite you to these spectacularly good lunches. It's just a beautiful place. I can't say enough about the wonderful friends that we have over there that actually starting to feel more like family. Another thing is the pace. Now, southern Italy is generally a slower pace, and that's not to say stuff doesn't get done. It does get done, but my rushy California lifestyle, it took me a while to just chill right out and be in the moment. And that's really what it is. It's sort of in the moment. They're in the moment, right? They'll stop, they'll have their coffee, and then they'll go off to work. They stop and they have la pausa in the afternoon, which is you eat a huge lunch and then you sleep it off a little bit, or you crawl into bed and with a book for a couple of hours. It's the most amazing thing. And it took me a while to actually be okay with that, like let myself enjoy that. So that's another thing. And stuff does get done. You would think that it wouldn't, but it actually does. Another thing is in southern Italy, Calabria, and especially where we are, properties go for next to nothing. In fact, we already put the video up on the Palazzo, that that big giant grand house in the back of our village that the owners are giving away for free. And with the caveat that when you renovate, you create an apartment, but it's just this massive building, and there are buildings all over. There was the Italian diaspora, where the Italians in the late 1800s and the early 1900s left. They left Calabria. It was hard to live there, and most of it was farming, and it was, Calabria. It can be a little tough to farm there, before they had, irrigation and everything else. So, so they moved to America, and then a lot of their homes became abandoned. And it's those abandoned homes that people, when you see the €1 Italian houses, it's those abandoned homes that are going for €1. Some are in pretty rough shape. But in our village, you can buy a complete ruin. You can buy something that's, pretty destroyed. You can get something that just needs a little bit of work. You can get something that's already done. So there's just everything in our village, and you wouldn't believe the prices. They're incredibly inexpensive. I mean, when we bought our house, we paid cash, so we don't have a mortgage. It's a really, really nice thing. And I forget exactly what we're paying every year to maintain the house, but it's way less than you would even think of paying here. So that's another reason. Another reason is, where else can you live and buy a centuries-old house, have it created to your specifications, and live in it? Like, you can't do that in America because we don't have any century-old houses. And you can go live in a historic center in a place that's been around since, almost medieval times, and live in a piece of history. So it's quite an amazing experience. The building and stuff is a whole lot different than what we have here. Back then, they just, they don't have wallboard and wood frames. But I go into that in our Truth About €1 Italian Houses video, which, if you're looking at retirement, you really should look at that one, because that gives you a lot of good information. So yeah, so you can set up your dream house. You can get our amazing architect Antonello in. He can create a beautiful space for you. And then Salvatore, who puts together some of the most amazing renovations I've ever seen, he'll work on your property too, and you're going to love it. Now, another reason for Calabria is that everything in Europe is just a short flight away. Like, we're only, an hour and 20 minutes, I think, by plane to Barcelona. We flew from Barcelona. We got, arrived in the morning, and then had the whole day in southern Italy. There are many cruise ports around. There's one in Bari. There's one in Rome, of course. And we're just a cruise port or a short flight away from anywhere in Europe. And it's very, very easy to go see a lot of different places in a very short amount of time. And it opens up these areas for you too. Our village is just a hop and a skip from Sicily. In fact, summer 2021, we're going to be doing a convertible tour of Sicily, which is going to be really fun. And that's just a hop and a skip from us. The final thing that I want to say about, especially our village, which I'm very biased toward, is the people. But I have to say, honestly, we've met great people everywhere we've gone in Calabria. They're the best. They're super, super community and family oriented. And when you come in and you become part of the community, you become part of the community. You're one of them. And it's really a nice feeling, because sometimes in America you don't find that, unless you have a really tight-knit church or other group that's tight-knit, almost like a family. You don't really see that here. But over there, you're part of something way bigger than yourself. You're part of a community, and you're part of a community that's gone back generations and generations into the past. It's really quite an amazing thing. So that's my pitch for Calabria, and especially for our area. We are in the Riviera dei Cedri, which is goes, I think, from the Gulf of Policastro down to, I think, Paola. It's a little area, but it's a gulf where the cedro grows. And apparently that's the only place in the world that it grows. Cedro's a big fruit, and you find it a lot down there. It's a citrus fruit. It's really delicious, and it's used in a lot of cooking and things like that. So that, I could go on for days on all the wonderful things you're going to see, you're going to experience, all of your senses are just going to be treated treated to a really, really nice experience. So if you're looking, I have some inroads with Antonella and with the builder and everything else, and they are looking to repatriate our beautiful village, and I'm trying to help them with that. So contact me. You can contact me at info@supersavvytravelers.com, and definitely go check out our Super Savvy Travelers website, because we have blogs with pictures and all kinds of stuff, and watch some of the other videos on YouTube. I think you're going to really like them. So I'll see you later.